It is that time of the year when we bring you our stories from the field. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19, meeting in person is still not possible. But this year, we have decided to take you to the field with us. Thank you for joining me today. I am at Musambi Village. So Musambi Village is a Kinyarwanda, Musambi itself is a Kinyarwanda name for gray-crowned crane. So as the name says, it's a village for cranes. Let me take you back. In 2014, when we started to work with cranes, there were more gray-crowned cranes in people's garden and hotels than they were in the wild. So what was happening is many people want to have them as pets, so there was a huge demand. Local communities would poach and sell to those who want to have them as pets in their gardens. So when we started, our ultimate goal was to end the illegal trade, but also removing all captive cranes and take them back to the wild. So today I'm happy to tell you that we have actually managed to identify all cranes in captivity and remove them back to the wild. But throughout the process, we came across a huge number of cranes that has had problems of injuries, broken wings, and all sorts of injuries. That means we cannot take them back to their natural habitat. So that's why Musambi Village exists. Musambi Village, it's a restored wetland and grassland that serves as home, a natural home for those disabled cranes. But all the cranes you see here, they are not all disabled. We also have like a huge number of cranes that came from other wetlands and have claimed Musambi Village to be their home. And we've been really finding some good stories where like free-range cranes that came from outside and managed to to fall in love with cranes that we have here, and they have been able to have some chicks. And that's the kind of stories of love, stories of hope that we need during this hard time. Musambi Village is only a tiny bit of the work we do. We work really out, like throughout the whole country. One of our strategies is to bring as many members of the community on board to protect gray-crowned cranes and other endangered species. So we have recruited a team of community conservation champions, and these are members of the community who with a passion and love and are willing to really come on board and help us protect the species. So we train them, we give them all the training that is possible, and we empower them with equipment. We give them like everything that we can to really stand as our ambassadors. So they will conduct meetings in their communities to educate their parents, their colleagues, their friends. They will collect data, they will protect key habitat areas for the species we are working with, and protecting some of the breeding site. In addition, we give them like smartphone with some applications where they can collect information that is really useful in a long term to understand the changes that are happening in the areas, but also on the species that we are monitoring. So this map that I'm showing you here is a map of Rwanda, and it's showing you the current location of our community conservation champions. As you will see, we have like some hot areas, like in the north, like northeast of the country, and in the south, where we have like some of those key biodiversity areas. But our community conservation champions, either working with cranes, working with other species like bats, working on a restoration site, they are all located on this map. And we are working hard even to make this network bigger and bigger. And the more people we have on board, the more our work becomes easier. So today I would like to take you to one of the sites, and let's talk to Dr. Deo, who's going to tell us about the team of champions that he's visiting today.
Hello everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Dr. Deo. I'm a trained veterinarian and the Crane Project Program Manager for Rwanda Wildlife Conservation Association. Right now, we are in the south part of Rwanda where we are meeting our community conservation champions. We would like just to hear the work that they have been doing here. I'm checking if they have any challenge they have been facing at the field. And then I also check if they collect the right data at the field. Right now, this guy, they are doing amazing job where they collect every kind of data of the crane they sight on the field.
Thank you so much, Deo. It's really good to hear from you from the field, and thank you for the work you're doing. So, as I mentioned, we work throughout the country, and I would like to take you to another site, which is Rugezi Marsh. It's in the northern part of Rwanda. So Rugezi Marsh is a wetland of importance, of great importance. It's a Ramsar site, and it's also an important bird area by BirdLife. So what I wanted to mention to you is that Rugezi itself, it has nearly a quarter of the population of grey crown cranes in Rwanda. So it's a really important site for us to work. So our work around the marshland involves like raising awareness among the communities. We really go into schools and try to run campaigns, work with kids. And we have created clubs, environmental clubs, like in the villages nearby the marsh, where we bring kids like really down to the marsh, and we educate them through fun, and we try to connect them with nature. And in addition, we try to make them have an environmental impact. So they have all actions like planting trees, cleaning the environment in their own areas. So the other work we do is we try to establish partnerships with local leaders to make sure we can monitor and better protect the marshland against some of the illegal activities. One other important aspect of our work is creating jobs. On this map, on the left you see this is a photo of Rugezi, but again on the right this is the map of Rugezi, and it's showing the current location of our community marsh rangers. So we try to recruit from these communities and we empower them, same as we empower our conservation champions. And every day they will monitor the marsh, the buffer zone, and they will work with local leaders to make sure we can reduce the illegal activities, but much more importantly, to educate members of the communities about the importance of the marshland and why we need all to protect it. So we are at a time when we feel like we have established a really great network of community that is enabling us to have much of the impact or the results we want with cranes. But one thing I would like to mention is, you know, like as humans, it's so easy to think of the future. We sometimes buy health insurance, we buy insurance for our vehicles, insurance for our houses, because we want to be certain for the future. But I've not come across any insurance that we can buy to insure like our species and their habitat, to make sure like they are safe in the future. So the only way that we can secure the future of the species that we are working with is actually by investing in the kids. So at WCN, we really value so much working with kids. And that's when we have like young people actively involved in conservation and growing up with it, it's the only way we can secure the future of our species. In that way, to make us happy that the future of our species, our natural habitat, are in good hands in the future. One other important aspect of protecting our species is to protect their habitat. Over the last couple of years, we have invested a lot in activities that aim to protect and restore the key habitat for cranes and other species we work with. Let's hear from Cecile, our botanist.
Hello everybody, thank you for joining me today. My name is Cecile Kaitanirwa, RWCN botanist and habitat restoration manager. Today, I'm at Musambi Village, sanctuary for disabled grey-crowned cranes. The first restoration site I worked on straight after my university studies. I'm excited to share with you some of our activities in habitat restoration and protection. In past 4 years, we contributed to the restoration of 5 different sites, including wetland and forest in our country. We produced more than 70,000 indigenous trees of 35 different species from our nursery. The most part that I found exciting in my job is to work with kids. Connect them with nature, teaching them how to grow trees rather than just planting trees, thus creating ownership in them. To succeed in our restoration activities, we work with communities around the country. We raise awareness in them of how to protect trees and the importance of indigenous trees. We hire them in tree planting events and the management, which both benefit community livelihood as well as the biodiversity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cecile. So, this is really a tiny bit of the work we do. We wish we could take you everywhere in the country where we work. But one thing I want to mention is that, like, as we've been working for a couple of years, the more we understand the species we work with, the more we design more strategies. So every time we are always thinking of new ways we can better protect great crown cranes. So one other thing we do is evaluation. So over the last couple of years, over the last 5 years, we've been collecting data through our community conservation champions, the rangers, and our regular visit to the field. We have also been conducting census, like means annual count of great crown cranes in Rwanda. And we have actually completed one of our 5th census of great crown cranes in Rwanda. And today I would like actually to take you with me to show you how it looks like. So our census only lasts 3 days. We try to minimize the number of days so that we can avoid double counting or even repeating the counts. We combine the aerial surveys where we use helicopter, and that's when we fly in helicopters over the areas like a national park, and we follow the same path every year, counting the cranes in those areas that we cannot access by foot or vehicle. And in other parts of the country where we can access with vehicles and foot, we have teams that follow the same route every year. Our census happen at the same time of the year, the same month, the same dates, and the same team to minimize any risk of having results that cannot be compared. So our results can be compared over the years. So it's really like a good coincidence that I can even reveal the number of great crown crane census this year. So we have just counted 997 great crown cranes this year. And this is a constant increase when you compare with the previous years, as this trend shows you. So from 487 when we started our census, the first census in 2017, to 997, we have already doubled the population of great crown cranes. So this is really good, and we could not do it without all of you, your support, without our supporters, like who really can't really have stuck with us and are supporting us and believing in the work that we do. We do not only do census, we have also been using GPS tags, technology. We have tagged a number of cranes. These 2 maps here that I'm showing you, they are like maps that plots the movement of 2 great crown cranes over 6 months. So on the left, this is a map that shows you the boundaries between Rwanda, Uganda, and Tanzania. And as you will see, this crane has really pushed boundaries, moving between Rwanda, Uganda, and nearly to Tanzania. On the right, it's another map showing you the movement, or the 6 months movement of another crane between Rwanda and Tanzania. So what we've come to understand with all of this kind of data is that crane push boundaries. And if we are going to be successful, we need to push boundaries. So our organization is really now so much invested in exploring ways we can establish strong partnership with neighboring countries, neighboring countries, so that we can share information, design action to better protect these cranes that move in between borders. So what we've come to understand is that the survival or the future of a species does not only rely on me, does not only rely on my team, it relies on bringing as many as we can, the community conservation champions, the rangers, the neighboring countries organizations and teams, all of us working together to save a species. And we really would like to invite you, all of you today who are listening, to join us on this quest to protect great crown cranes in Rwanda. Thank you so much.